take it out of space. Drop that bass in your face. Pick it back up, put it on the turntable, and drop that bass in your face. MCs wrapping it up with the tight production. Right off the rip, getting into something. Licking shots, triggering samples. Get the kettle on, I'm off the handle. Loud and rowdy, no further questions. Lighten up another kicking session. Whoa! Got two jobs, blow up and blow speakers, make beats and get your artist featured. Stack up drums, 2 pairs of fresh kicks. How many lumps do you want for your first hit? Sarcastic magic, beats above average, make a mental note. Get your head examined, sample my voice, royalty free. But your fire ain't enough to boil me.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Ace, and this is Kicking It Off the Clock. This is our bonus episode tonight. Just wanted to have an episode where I introduce one of our new guest hosts. Shaanyse, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I really appreciate you asking. Happy to have you here. I'm happy to talk to you.
Happy to talk to you as well. I've been super excited about this.
Yeah, we've been working on this for a minute, kind of going back and forth, and finally our schedules were able to line up and we were able to get the schedule. So I'm super excited about this episode.
Appreciate the opportunity. I lost my words for a second.
Oh no, you're perfectly fine. We were actually laughing about stuff like that before we got on, so trust me, like I get it. It's no problem at all. So one thing that I do want to do is just kind of break the ice. Um, I'm trying to think. Do you remember how it was? How did we actually connect on TikTok? Because I believe I was after one of my posts went viral. I believe I searched sneaker talk, and I came across your profile, and I thought the content was pretty dope. Uh, can you remember like our first interaction?
Our first interaction, it was some back and forth comments. It was like you're like, I need to pull this particular shoe out. And
Hmm.
then I posted something else and you're like, oh, I forgot I had these. And it was the Air Max ones, the
The
olives.
olives. Okay. Yep.
And then it just kind of went from there. We followed each other and it's just been up ever since. So
Okay, yeah, and I still need to pull those out. Like I know that, that's one of your favorite shoes, so I definitely can agree on that in terms of the Air Max one. But I need to, you know what? Now that I think about it, I've never wore any of my Air Max ones.
yeah, which is absolutely insane. Because what are you
I
doing with your life?
I love the shoe, but it's crazy. And you know what? I thought about that last night when we were kind of talking, and I was like, damn, you know what? I thought about that at work. I was like, I've never wore any pair. You know what? No, I take that back. I was about to lie. I have wore a pair, but it was just a one-off thing. It was a particular outfit that I had, and it was Air Max Day when I worked at Nike. So yes, I have, but it was like for a brief 4-hour shift. So
You definitely got to wear them more because they're a utility shoe and they go with everything.
yeah, I definitely see that with just like I remember with your post how you styled them, and then just seeing a lot of different people just how they style them. I definitely need to go ahead and get that look started. Now, the one thing that I always do ask people is that I always typically ask them, "What's your favorite sneaker?" But we know the Air Max One is pretty much your go-to sneaker. Let me ask you, what is the first sneaker that sparked your interest in shoe sneakers overall?
Okay, so I've always loved sneakers, but it was 2005 when the Jordan 20 Stealth came out. I remember
Mm,
seeing them on a classmate of mine, and it was just a wrap after that. Like I absolutely love that sneaker, and I need them to retro it. But that's what made me want to do a deep dive into it.
yeah, I remember that. That was 2004. It was 2004. I had just graduated middle school, and I was going to high school. And I remember when the white ones came out that summer, late that summer. In my high school, we could only wear all black shoes. It was a part of the uniform policy. And I remember it was kind of like October or something, kind of close to the school year had already begun. The black stealth ones dropped, and that's when I think everybody who was somebody had those shoes. They sold out, of course, and I think they were like two something. Um, I remember I was not able to get them. My parents were not dropping $200 on a pair of shoes,
My parents
so
weren't either.
yeah, so it was just one of them things. Like I just saw a bunch of people with them. I had to kind of rock with my own style. I kept clean forces, clean. I was actually in the Prestos, so I kept a nice wide variety. I wore Dunks, so I had a nice variety of shoes that kind of made up for that. But I just remember how dope of a shoe, how different it was with the ankle,
Right.
like being around it. It was just so dope. And then they retroed the shoe in 2015,
Yep.
and it was a slight change to it. It had the gold trim on the front, on the top of it, and it kind of, I didn't like that, but I still bought them. And then I ended up buying them a half size too small, so ended up selling them. But yes, they definitely need to retro that shoe. They have to
Yeah,
retro it.
they definitely do, and it's like I didn't get the 2005 pair because same as you, my parents were not gonna drop however much money on a pair of shoes. Plus, I was I was 10, so I
All
was 10
right.
turning 11. So they were like, your foot's not done growing, and I just had so many other things going on, extracurriculars. They were like, we're not spending money like that on that particular thing. You have enough shoes. And then in 2015, that was the year. I joined the Air Force, so I was in basic and all sorts of training after that. So I missed out on those and a lot of other things too. But I was definitely upset about missing out on those.
Yeah, that shoe, they definitely need to retro a lot of shoes. Everything after the 14 doesn't get as much love in terms of retros, but they're starting to change that. Just
Oh
with,
yeah,
yeah, I see the 17s are coming out again. So those, what are they? The college blue 17s. I have to have those.
must have, an absolute must have. Like, that's one of the things that just the fact that they're retroing things past 14 starting this year and moving into next year, especially with the black packs coming out and all that stuff. Like I'm really excited about that.
Do you think that they're gonna retro the shoe, the college blue 17s? Do you think that they're actually gonna retro it with the case, or do you think that they're gonna play us and give us just a regular
They're
box?
probably just gonna play us and give us a regular box and make us pay more for it. Cause I feel like that's the direction that they're moving in with a lot of stuff. It's like we're not getting the same packaging, we're paying more, we're like, but we're absolutely getting a lot less. And for me, I know a lot of people don't like keep their boxes and they don't care about the presentation. But for me, the presentation is just as important as the shoe.
Yes.
Like I want to see something nice if I'm spending, and I'm in that sweet spot where I can buy like a grade school size or I can buy a men's
Mm,
size. But it's like if I'm buying a men's shoe or even a kid's shoe, I want the presentation to be on point because I'm not gonna keep paying more money. But
mm.
I want what I paid for.
Right, right, right. I definitely agree. The last shoe that I can say that I was overall impressed with the quality of the presentation was the Space Jams when they re-released with the 45 on the back.
Yep,
That overall presentation made it worth every bit of what they were 220, maybe 230. That made it worth every single penny of that shoe because I just love that presentation. The box, like the pull out box, everything about that shoe was just gave premium vibes,
exactly.
and they don't do that anymore. It makes me curious as to think. Speaking of Space Jams, I know they re-released at the end of the year for the Christmas holiday. Do you think that they're actually going to do a packaging for it? Because you have to remember that was the shoe that started the Jordans for Christmas. So,
I hope they will, especially since we're getting a Space Jam with the 23 on the back of it instead of the
mm,
45. I think that's a big deal. But to your point, like considering that that's the shoe that, started them dropping 11s around the holiday season. I hope they do. I really, really hope they do. Because like you said, we haven't gotten really good packaging in a while, especially when it
mm,
comes to 11s. And within recent years, I think this not necessarily being 11, but the Soul 2.0s, I feel like that's the best packaging we've got in a long time.
You know, I did not get those, but I saw a couple of people who had the packaging. I cannot remember the guy that I follow on Instagram, and I'll definitely bring his name up the next episode. But he had the Soul 2.0s, and I saw the packaging. I was like, okay, that's actually pretty dope. And just overall, I think within the sneaker game as a whole, I really can't think of many shoes that have dope packaging. I mean, I just got the Jumpman Jack trainer, and the packaging on that is pretty decent. It's different. So I mean that, and then I'm trying to think what else. Um, something that flew under the radar that had nice packaging. I don't know if you remember those Air Force Ones that Undefeated did about 3 or 4 years ago that were the
Mhm.
multicolor. The packaging on those were super nice.
Yep, I didn't get those shoes, but I definitely enjoyed the packaging. I thought it was a very nice presentation. And it's like I wish we would get more stuff like that. I feel like when it
Hmm.
comes to Nike and Jordan brand, they're moving away from presentation, and you're seeing brands like Unheard of and Adidas. So you get the Piggy Runners, and they have amazing packaging. Even
Hmm.
some of like the J tips that came out here, the Saucony box itself wasn't fantastic. It's just a pull out box. But if you
Hmm.
got four of them or even three of the shoes, when you line them up, it creates a picture. And it's
Okay.
like, so I thought that was pretty cool. But it's like I just feel like Nike and just Jordan brand as a whole, they're raising the prices, and it's almost like, here, damn, just take it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that is that the Jordan brand and Nike are built on storytelling. Like
Right.
everything about Nike, when you look back to the 90s or you look back to the 80s, there is a story that goes with the shoe. Like if you look at the waffle runners, if you look at the Jordan 1 being banned, if you look at the Air Max, how they came about, and then, you go into just Air technology in general, how that, changed, revolutionized like sneakers, everything about a Nike colorway, even if you look at the Air Max TNs or the Air Max Plus, every colorway had a story to tell. And I feel like that now is just like they don't I don't know if it's they think that maybe the majority of the public doesn't care about it, or they just don't really want to put the effort into doing it, which is sad because it's every shoe that I get from Nike, there's a story to it, or there's some type of connection that I've had with it at some point in my life to where is that, it brings back memories. Like we were talking about how certain things trigger memories. There are certain shoes that trigger memories from my
Right.
teenage years, from my childhood that um, just stick with me, that will always stick with me. I remember my very first pair of Jordans were the flu games. I was in the first grade. It was the flu game 12s. And I'll never forget how just wearing that shoe, looking at it, just being so excited, actually seeing Michael Jordan wear it, just made me feel a part of the game or just the culture itself. So I don't like that they're getting away from that and that the you know, stories just aren't included in that.
Right.
It sucks.
And it feels like we're not passing anything down to the younger generation
Hmm.
of like of sneakerheads. And it's like, I'm 31, and when I look at, people are a little bit older than me, and they'll kind of reminisce on sneakers, and it's like, okay, I
Hmm.
might not have that particular connection to that sneaker. I might really like it, but it doesn't mean the same thing to me. I can appreciate the history, but it's like, what do we have to pass down to them, especially when it comes to the presentation? It's like
Hmm.
it almost feels like they don't care, but I also feel like it's the when they're doing the branding and stuff, they're not really giving us anything to pass down. Just here's a shoe. I hope you like it. Like literally, just here, damn.
I mean, basically, yes. It just makes me think not only from the shoes side of it in terms of like the shoe having a story. I just think of like all the sneakerheads that have stories that go with getting shoes. Just thinking about like going back before the internet, like before sneakers, like the internet really became a thing. I mean, we've had eBay and stuff for, since the early 2000s, but just thinking back to the first shoe that made me really realize that sneaker culture, that I was a part of a culture, was when that pigeon dunk dropped. And I just remember being in chat rooms and just reading, like there were smaller sneaker blogs out, and just reading like the stories and seeing the pictures from New York of like how people were camping out for it. And it's crazy how do you even get the information about the shoe? Like if you're not in New York or Chicago or LA, how do you get these shoes? Because of nowadays we're so comfortable and we're so used to just looking on the internet reading about a shoe getting the sneaker release date.
Right.
Just the hustle and the thrill and the challenge of getting the shoe back then, like I've never really like had to get deep into it. I've been into it but not that deep into it to where it's that.
Exactly.
But it's just like, man, like those stories, those could be a part of like sneaker releases.
Exactly. Like we don't even the East Bay catalogs,
Oh my God, yes.
like no longer a thing. Like just no longer a thing.
Yeah, I mean, the East Bay catalog was like for sneakerheads, that was like our serious catalog.
Exactly.
Yes,
Exactly. It's like
that
the
was our
sneakers, the jerseys, the all of it.
man,
Like,
the starters jackets. Like,
yep.
I just
Yep.
remember waking up on Saturdays, and for some reason, I always felt like it came on a Saturday.
Hmm.
Just getting it and sitting there at the breakfast table, just reading it from you know probably what 9 to about 10:30, and just like pointing out like, look, we gotta go get this stuff, or if we're going to the mall today, I need to look for this. Like,
Yep.
this is what I want. It's just uh but I mean, looking at my own stories, I had it easy because my mother was an avid, I don't know if you're from kind of like the Midwest a little bit, South, but Midwest, you're kind of like on that
Hmm.
border. So I don't know if you have Dillards in
Yeah, we
your
have
area.
Dillard's.
Okay,
Yep.
so well, yeah, that makes sense because they're in that part. So when I was a kid, up until I think I was probably like 6 or 7, Dillards used to carry Jordans. So my mother being like a card holder and everything, she shopped there so much the people knew her son wanted these shoes.
Hmm.
And they would, oh, we got the new Jordan. Give, I want them. Nothing. It was nothing to get them. So it was just
Ease.
always yes.
Ease.
I just wanted them, and I had so many pair, and it's just like uh thinking just back to those times. And then as I got older and I had to get into it myself, the one story that I can remember that was different, that stands out to me, is when the Galaxy Pack came out.
Hmm.
That was the St. Louis Galleria. I remember that was crazy. That was a crazy drop. Some stores dropped them at midnight, and then another store was going to open at 6, I believe. And I just remember them only allowing like certain people in the mall, like a certain number of people. And I remember me and my friends, I don't know why they didn't think about this, but we cut through bread. Like Panera Bread was open, and we cut through Panera Bread, and we were able to get up there, and I was able to get the KDs. So I couldn't get the LeBrons. The Kobe's were gone. Of course, the phones were gone, but I'm
Right.
getting something.
Leaving here with something.
Yeah, I'm leaving here with
Yeah,
something. So that, and I guess I get sad because I look at the stuff that is coming back out that we get excited about. The Fur Pack. I remember when the Fur Pack came out, people went nuts. And I don't know how I looked up. I think because it used to be Champs used to have it to where is that it was almost kind of like it was a raffle system, but it was first come first serve. If you got there to get a ticket, your size was available, they gave it to you. They gave you a ticket to come pick it up. And I was just so happened to be in the mall, wasn't aware of what was coming out. I was like, what is this line for? And everybody's like, oh, the Fear Pack. Okay. So look, I'm in line. I'm looking it up. I'm like, oh, I kind of want these. I'm like, what? I got up there. What's left? He's like, I got the fours left. Ended up, I was like, can I get a 10 and a half? They had it, got it, and that turned out to be, to me, the better of all the shoes.
I think it's definitely the best of the Fear Pack. I've never really been a big fan of the Fear Pack, but if I had to pick one, it would be the fours. Like
I,
I just I could never really get into it. Like I understood why people liked it, but I was like, there are so many other better shoes. But the fours
and
would yeah, they're the best of them.
now overall, we can like the fours, but overall, the most popular shoe out of that pack was a three.
I don't know
Um,
why. I don't know
I don't know
why. I
why,
don't.
but it just was,
It's
and
not a good. I don't like that colorway. Like I really don't like that colorway. Every time I see it, it kind of makes me cringe. And I know people love it down, and I just don't know why. And I see it on TikTok and stuff, and I'm just like,
I like it, but I'm surprised. Like it did when it came back out, it didn't do shit.
it shouldn't have. It should.
It
It
didn't
shouldn't
do
have.
what
It's a hideous shoe.
the fours didn't do anything either. The fours set.
It's they both should have sat the first time too. They're terrible.
Nah, those were, and the crazy thing is that I think because of how they set, I think they just scrapped the five coming out. They just said, you know what, fuck it, we not
Mhm.
even going, which is sad because the five was probably like it was a tie between that and the four for the next one that people like. It was kind of split after the three, but I like that five. I wouldn't have mind that coming back out. Like, let me complete the pack. Like,
I don't need any of the pack.
yeah, I
That's a
think
pack I could skip. I would skip it every time. Like it's I just
mine.
can't get with it.
Mine are definitely sitting on ice, and I'm waiting to. I typically, and people always like, why do you do that? I typically try to give it a 2 year window
I
before I
remember
mess
when
a
you
shoe
told
up.
me that. I was like, what?
Yeah,
I was
I
like
give
that.
it a 2 year
That was one
window.
of our first one of the
Yeah,
first things we talked about. I was like, wait, can I ask why? Because I'll wait to wear certain shoes. Well, I really wait to wear all my shoes, and it's not. Sometimes, no, most of the times it's just to let the hype die down because I don't want to
that
go outside and see everybody with the same shoe. And it's
that's
like
it.
even when I post on TikTok, I don't know if you notice this, but like I'll wait. Like I'll wait
Hmm.
to post something on TikTok. And it's usually because I haven't worn it yet. Like I haven't worn my taxis. I haven't worn stuff that I picked up last year. And it also kind of keeps the people guessing, but
Hmm.
also more so outside of social media. It's like where luckily I have a job where I can wear my shoes to work every day.
Yeah,
And but when I go out and I see people, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to like when the Black Cat Fours and stuff came, the Gammas came out. It's like I don't want to see a billion people wearing the same shoe. I feel like it
I
kind of cheapens the shoe, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna just wait till the hype dies down. And when everybody else's stuff is dirty, my stuff is still icy, it's still clean.
yeah, I don't want to. I really don't want to wear. It's a combination of what you're saying, but then it's also kind of that ooh ah factor. I felt like now back in the day when I used to do that, of course the reaction was a little bit stronger because especially when I was a manager at Finish Line, because people would be like, "Damn, you still got them? Like your shit look brand new." They literally are brand new. Like it's the only thing that I wear right out the box that recently has been the Jai threes.
I
I
still kind of wait on my Jot threes a little bit, but it's such a good shoe.
I love
It's
that
such a good
shoe.
shoe. I'm kind of mad that they're the Jaw fours. Not excited. I'm not
Uh,
excited. I was like, how did we go backwards?
that is one of the biggest letdowns of the century to me because I know I'm being a little bit extra saying the century, but just for you to go from the Jai 3 trending up, the first time I saw the Jai 3 when he wore it in the playoffs, and I said, that's a dope ass shoe. I cannot wait. It was the pink one. I was like, I cannot wait to get that shoe. I
I was super excited. I know when he was in Manila doing promo, and I saw
mhm.
the Ja versus NY.
Yep.
And
That
then
was
the
a
light
black one,
show.
right?
Yep, that was a black one. And I can't believe how much that's reselling for. Like I wanted that shoe so bad. But
Mm-hmm.
I ended up getting the light shows that came out right after. And I think I had maybe like 8 or 9 pair of jaws. Like I absolutely love them. I only have one issue with the shoe, but I thought, like you said, like we're going backwards with it. Like it's arguably one of the best basketball shoes to drop in a very long time. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like the job for it looks cheap. Um, and I just hate that for his brand, really.
Yeah, because it really can put your sneaker line on the path to being canceled because people will stop buying them. Like when you build on that hype, you have to keep that going. Every time I think of like a line dying or a miss on a shoe, it automatically gives me like PTSD because I think is his line going to be like Paul George line? Because
Exactly.
you remember Paul George started off that PG1 was dope.
Mm-hmm.
PG1 was dope, and the PG2 was okay until they realized, like, okay, we might have fucked up, and they made the PG 2.5 and put the strap back on it. So when the strap went back on it, and then they put out all those PlayStation colors,
Yep.
I was like, okay, success. This is a dope basketball shoe. Gotta have them. And then the PG3, it wasn't over aesthetically, it wasn't like you weren't blown away by it. But with what they did with marketing in terms of coming out with the NASA colorways, the Black History Month, and the All Star Pack that I'm sure that they did for it, they blew you away with the colors.
Yep. Definitely. Most definitely.
So it was just his line was trending in the right direction. And then the fourth shoe came out. And I remember holding it in hand and all I could think is, what the fuck is this?
No, seriously. And it's just I feel like like you get a good movie, right? It reminds me of a
Mm-hmm.
good movie. You get a good movie, and then the second one might be okay. The third one usually sucks. And then the fourth or fifth one comes out and it's just pretty much trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much trash. And I don't understand. I don't want that to happen with the jawline. Just because of it's a good shoe. It's a really, really good shoe. And honestly, I think they should have let this run a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just based off of what it is. Um, but I don't think they're going to. Uh for whatever reason. I don't know if it has to do with what he has going on the court or whatnot, but it's just like even with the Nike ID stuff, like there's so much more they could add to that. Like people
Oh
want to
yeah,
ID the shoe.
definitely,
They want to
definitely.
ID the shoe.
I think they need to let you ID it the way you want to, though. The ID does have
Yes.
like a lot of limit. It's limited in
Yes.
a sense. And I get that maybe they don't want people making a colorway that they may have coming out or something that they have down the line. I get that they kind of limit it from that standpoint. But yeah, it's just, you're right. It's so much more that they can do with that shoe. And I feel like they're really dropping the ball. It's really going in the wrong direction. And I hope that maybe it's something towards that it's gonna be like how the Kyrie line was, because the Kyrie line the one was phenomenal. It was one of my favorite shoes. The one, and my Easter Kyrie ones are still pristine. Still love wearing that shoe. Um, I'm trying to think. So the two was okay. It wasn't bad, but it was okay. And then the three was super dope.
Hmm.
And then they
Yep.
came out with the four. The four was it was eh, and then the five was dope. So then they came out with the six, and he was like, mm-mm. And then the
Hmm.
seven, it was like every odd number was dope. And then as you remember, the eight came out, and he went on, I think it was Twitter, and lost his mind, saying that he had nothing to do with that shoe. He didn't approve it or anything like.
Hmm.
And after that, they was just like, yeah, we about to cancel this shit.
Yeah.
So Kyrie line start getting to where it's like every other year. he had a dope shoe.
Hmm.
So maybe Josh, it might be like that. Um, who knows? But this cycle, Ja easily had the best shoe.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like I was honestly surprised when it came to, like the complex sneakers of the year and stuff that he wasn't in that top 10. Cause I'm like how not so like there was some heat that came out last year, but for me, like the jobs were definitely in my top 10. And I just like the fact that he has so much creative control over the shoe, which
Mm,
is like I kind of feel he didn't have this type of creative control based off of the mock-ups that we're seeing for the job 4, because it just doesn't feel like job.
mm,
Ja just has that kind of like that chaos to him. And that's what
yeah,
the Ja 3 feels like. It feels like,
control
I don't,
chaos.
yeah, like I don't want to call him a YN, but like Ja a YN for all for all intents and purposes. And it's that chaos. And
Yeah.
that shoe represents that. And then like the Ja 4 just feels way too conservative. And the high tops kind of remind me of like a Cody Protro. It's very much like that. Like that it's like the way the cut of the shoe, not necessarily the materials, because from the mock-up, it almost looks like a fly knit, but
Yeah.
it's kind of styled like in that higher cut, kind of wrap around your ankle type thing. And it's just like it feels too light. It feels too what were the kids saying? Demure. It feels too demure.
I don't know. And maybe so again, I just Googled Ja 4 and I'm gonna have to send you a picture after the podcast. The shoe I'm looking at that they're saying is the Ja 4 looks nothing like that red mock up that I'm
Okay,
looking at.
cool, cool.
So this is a purple shoe and he's working out in it. And I still don't like it more than I like the Ja 4, but I mean, sorry, the Ja 3, but it has potential and maybe certain colorways I see will be better. So hopefully, this what I'm looking at is the actual shoe and not this mock up shit that, because it's like, yeah, it's not it.
Yeah, that
This is,
Ja 4 mock-up was
and
very upset when I
and the funny thing is, we haven't even mentioned like, Devin Booker's shoe. Devin Book,
they could have done so much more with the books.
I really don't. And the thing is, like, I don't dislike Devin Booker. I'm not his biggest fan, but I'm also like, I guess it's just like I'm very neutral when it comes to him. But at the same time, I also want to see people succeed. That he's not problematic. He hoops.
Hmm.
He's a good player. So of course, like I'm root from him from that standpoint. But it's just that the shoe just is so. It was too boxy to me the first one.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
for
I,
sure.
I just didn't. It didn't give me a basketball shoe vibe. It more so gave me like lifestyle shoe.
Yeah, definitely. I can definitely see that. Like, I haven't been a fan of his line in general. I feel like the colorways are underwhelming. They just feel extremely
Well,
conservative
that's where
to
I
me.
will kind of disagree with you. I do feel like the heat does play a role in deciding. They've come out with a lot of colorways that I thought were interesting, like them doing like the Air Max, the Neon 95 colorway, them doing that Forrest Gump Cortez colorway. I thought that the idea was there and making it fun for the colorways, but the overall shoe, I just can't get into it.
Yeah, it's just not a. I don't think it's a very well engineered shoe from an aesthetic standpoint. Like to your point, the Forrest Gump, like the Cortez type thing, did not like the neons. Didn't like it. Like I was
Yeah.
like, y'all could have really left that where it was at. But I definitely think the shape of the shoe plays a role in how we perceive the colorway as well.
Hmm.
And I just think it could have been a much better design
And
shoe.
and I feel like everybody's first shoe doesn't have what's considered a lot of technology in it because they don't
Hmm.
want the price point to be super high. They kind of have a hierarchy system into which the newer shoes are typically. I remember when the Kyrie 1 came out, it was 110. And then
Mm-hmm.
you had your mid tier, you had your Katie was that next level up, and then you had the Kobe and the LeBron, which were the two flagship shoes of the actual the Nike basketball brand. So
Mm-hmm.
it's I get that they're not putting as much technology into the shoe for the first two runs of it, but I do see like an improvement with the book too. I did like that one colorway that they had that was modeled after the I cannot remember what is the name of that shoe that is modeled after. The it starts with an S.
It came
Um
out this past year.
yeah, it was like gray, red, and black. It's gonna come to me.
Okay. I see. I'm picturing the shoe in my mind, but the name escapes me on that as well. But I
Spy
thought
the
I thought that was a pretty dope colorway. That and didn't he just had they released what was his latest release? The
the
yeah, the
fragment ones
fragment.
were nice, and
Yeah.
those sold out. I remember. Shout out to E Money from TikTok, one of our mutual friends. Um, he was posting about it because initially it was supposed to come out one day, and then it just disappeared from the site,
Hmm.
and then it popped back up. And I don't think I'm gonna have to ask him, did he hit on that? I don't think anybody hit on that.
It was just kind of to your point and what he was saying as well. Like it was there and then it was gone, and it was like I didn't care enough about the shoe to like go after it. And I'm pretty sure like most people wouldn't hit on it anyways. But I
Mm-hmm.
thought the presentation of the shoe, just, I mean, just the way it looked, it was very nice, very clean, definitely eye catching, and it was very simple.
Mm-hmm.
It was very simple, and I think simple in a lot of ways works for that particular shape. Like
Yeah,
it was just a very clean shoe.
I would have to agree. Yeah, it's Nike brand is, I'm sorry, the Nike basketball brand, I feel like they are kind of missing the boat on a lot of stuff. It's like they have some hits and then they either put too many colors out or they need to find that sweet spot. They either put too many out and then start coming out with like trash colorways, or they don't come out with enough. Like
Exactly.
I feel like Asia shoe, like a lot of people on the actual like on the podcast with Christina and Chris. Chris doesn't really care for. If I'm not mistaken, Chris doesn't care for it. I think the Asia 2 is dope.
I
I
think
like the shoe.
it's a nice shoe.
The only thing I don't like about her shoe, now I bought the one when the pink one when it first came out. I wanted to support, so I was like, I got to get this. I'm typically an 11 in basketball shoes, like in Sabrina shoes. I'm an 11. Really, any Nike basketball shoe, I'm an 11, except maybe like some LeBrons or certain pairs of KDs. I can wear a 10 and a half in those. I tried Asia shoe on. I could not get my foot in it. That is the tightest shoe. It, it's really just gonna be a display shoe because I was like,
Can't do nothing with it.
ain't no
Yeah.
fucking way I could wear this. Like, there's no way I could wear that shoe. Maybe if I lose, and I'm not fat or anything like super big, but I mean I'm a little husky, but I'm and my foot, I have a wide foot, but it's not like wide and fat, like where it look like they baking bread in my shoes.
Not baking
So,
bread.
yeah, so I mean, I've never had a problem like getting a shoe on, like, and that was just even. I was like, maybe if I go to an 11 and a half, I was like, that ain't even gonna do nothing because it was just. I was like, damn, do I need a shoe on?
That's
Uh,
the way you feel about that particular shoe is how I feel. I feel like Nike has not been consistent with the sizing with performance shoes. So for me,
mm,
it's the no in just about every shoe except a Kobe, I'm gonna have to go up a size and a half.
mm,
Or not a size and a half, a half, but everything else fits true to size. When I got my jobs, they don't fit true to size. Some of them fit true to size, some of them fit smaller, some of them I need a half size. And it's like, if I'm ordering a shoe, like I don't always want to go to the store. I just
all
want to
right,
order a shoe online. But it's like every shoe fits different. And I'm like, the shoe should not fit different within the same silhouette. Like it has to be some type of continuity. And I have a couple pairs, like I have a couple pairs that are youth. I have a couple pairs that are men's sizes, and it's like I know
Mm,
there's going to be a difference there. And I have a pretty narrow foot, but it's
mm,
like what I noticed with their shoe, with that particular shoe, is that the tongue is different on just about every shoe. It's like it's a manufacturing issue, and I don't know if that's board with Nike performance shoes because it's like, yeah, we know that a performance shoe should fit a little bit snug
mm.
because it's the nature of the shoe. But like to your point, when you're saying, do I need a shoehorn? Do I need to go up a whole size? Like this is kind of crazy.
Right. Like I get the lockdown aspect, but damn, like I'm not gonna be able to feel my feet. Like, like shit. Like,
Nah, they be
it,
so compressive. Like I
yeah.
wore a pair I had on the those metallic silvers or whatever, liquid silvers. And it was like the left shoe fit completely different than the right shoe, and I had to
Mm,
put on I had luckily I had my black and threes with me. I had to throw those on because I'm like, this is
mm.
insane. Like my right foot was killing me. Like it was couldn't feel my toes, but my left foot was just chilling.
And you know, sometimes like, cause my right foot is bigger than my left foot, probably by like maybe a quarter of a size. So I typically that's why I have to wear an 11. Because I believe my left foot is definitely a 10 and a half. My right foot is definitely 11. So,
Wish I wish I knew. Like typically like that was the first time I'd ever really experienced that. Like, and I
mm,
thought maybe my right foot is bigger than my left foot, but that was like one of the first pairs where I was like, okay, well, damn, like this hurts. Like
yeah.
this really hurts.
And the when I want to wear my shoe, like I'm typically at my part-time job, and that's when I want to wear the shoe. And it's like if I can't walk around in this for 4 or 5 hours and stand up on it, like ain't no fucking way that I'm gonna be able to. No, like this ain't gonna be it. Now there are some shoes that I've wore that they feel good, but then when I take them off, I was like, damn,
Did my feet feel like that all day? Like
like
just waiting, just screaming, ready to come out.
yes, like it's. Mm, I, I don't know. Hopefully, Nike basketball does it better, and it's definitely something that we'll continue to monitor and talk more about. Now, just in terms of TikTok, since you and me met on TikTok, and we've both, stated and said to each other that we do like the community aspect of it. Do you think TikTok has improved or diluted sneaker culture?
I don't think it's improved nor diluted sneaker culture. I feel like it's exposed sneaker culture. Um, because we're getting to see a lot of people aren't really there for the culture. They're there for the hype. They're there for payouts. They're just like bandwagon fans. And it's like, oh, this is what's hot right now. But what if
Hmm.
dress shoes are what's hot in a couple years? Are you gonna just get rid of all your sneakers? And also we're seeing like there's especially in terms of like creating and just those spaces, you have a lot of people who have become talking heads who don't know anything. Like they don't know shit about sneakers. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, well, I'm kind of funny. People will follow me and then they blow up and then they get exposed for like knowing absolutely nothing. So like no, it definitely hasn't diluted. It's just like I said, it's exposed a lot of the gaps, not necessarily just in knowledge, but in the reason why. I feel like a lot of people are just like they're here just because it's cool. Because sneakers are visible, like they're always visible. But I feel like
Hmm.
now with just the type of marketing that's out there, the the personalities, different athletes. And I feel like some brands are also kind of moving away from athletes and bringing in actors and,
Hmm.
just people from other spaces. So people are more apt to follow people that they like and they're like, okay, I'll go buy this shoe. Or, for example, I feel like a ton of people didn't even know who Nigel Sylvester was until the Brick by
Uh,
Bricks came out.
I
Didn't even
agree.
know bruh had shoes out before that. Didn't realize that he'd been with Jordan Brand for however many years before 2025. Because I remember when that pair of the high top ones came. And I'm
Yeah.
like, y'all weren't there for that. I mean, y'all was around, but y'all wasn't there for that.
Right.
So I feel like we're getting a lot of people like that within our
That
spaces.
that might be his best pair too. To be, if you want to be honest.
It's a fantastic pair. It is a fantastic pair, and it's like, you know, I feel like, the the grandma's driveways, the four ends, like
Mm,
those didn't get enough love. But to your point, I feel like those ones, like that's a goaded pair in his
yeah,
arsenal.
I definitely would agree, and I can't remember what podcast it was, but somebody said the same thing, and I was like, that shoe does not get the attention that it deserved. That shoe was dope. Like it was really a dope shoe. I really
Yeah.
do like that shoe. Now, speaking to just TikTok, I mean, we we both follow some of the same people. Like I say, I mentioned E Money. Shout out to E Money. We definitely going to tag him in the promo for this because I love his content. What's her name? Midlife Sneaker Crisis is another one who I follow and I've had conversations with. And what is her name? Sneaker Mom, is it?
Oh, Ellie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's those three. I would say, and you. I follow you all, and there's one more guy, and I can't. Forgive me for forgetting his name, but he always posts his fits, and he always likes my videos and kind of comments. So I just think that kind of like little community or that group of people, man, like y'all have really made it worthwhile. Like I'm really glad that I've connected and reached out to some of you guys because it's man, it really just is good insight, not only just, connecting with you guys, but I was talking to Midlife Sneaker Crisis and going to the Jai Threes, you know, we were talking about that Jurassic Park collab that they did. And that's another thing just in terms of like being able to call out what's gonna sell, what's not gonna sell. It's hard these days because I think he bid on those Jai threes um on StockX, and he hit the day before they came out, and he just didn't want to be bothered with
Hmm.
the hassle because sneakers, you can't bank on sneakers all the time. And then the shoe drops, and as we make this podcast right now, the shoe is still sitting.
Exactly. And I would have thought that, just given that, the hype behind the Jaws and Jurassic Park, that it definitely would have sold out.
Hmm.
I didn't necessarily think that. I think he got the
The
what did he get?
yellow,
He got
yeah,
the Explorer
that's
one,
the
because I
one.
know, yeah,
That's
he
the
got
one
the
I got.
Explorer one because I got the Raptor. I like the Raptor better. I thought, I'm not a very loud person when it comes to certain things. Like, I
I don't
like
like
certain
a
loud shoes,
every
but
now and then I like a loud shoe.
it
Yeah.
reminds me of like candy. Like, that's what I thought of when I was like, this looks like some candy. This is like something a kid will wear. But it was just like, I really liked the how the Raptor looked, the more muted colors. But I remember, like, he paid like $11 over retail. But it
Yeah.
was just like, you couldn't have told me that either one of those shoes wasn't gonna sell out. Thought
I
that was
mean,
crazy.
that's just the rolling the dice. I mean, it's one of those things in which you're gonna take some L's. You're gonna have some W's. That's just the nature of the game. I mean, if I can go back and not buy those All Star ones
Mhm.
the
I wouldn't have bought
weekend
them
they came
either.
out, I would have waited. I mean, they're
Yep,
literally some stores have like two and three runs of those shoes left. I mean, I'm on JD Sports right now and looking at their website. That's a shoe that I'm willing to. It's 145 right now. Now the sizes are starting to dwindle, but I can see this shoe still kind of being around for back to school.
definitely, definitely. And it's like, I kind of wish I would have waited on it too, especially considering all the things that they dropped all
Hmm.
weekend. Like, that would have been that's definitely probably one of the least underwhelming shoes. But
Hmm.
I feel like we didn't really know what was dropping All Star Weekend until it was upon us. And it's like, oh, okay, well, now I need to really decide, like, kind of what I want to pull out, or, what I want to go for and stuff. It's just, yeah, I definitely would
Well,
have waited on that.
I don't like how they did it because it's like it was. I don't remember what if they called it the metallic pack or how they. It was one of the first times that they in a while that they've actually done an all star pack or just had like a lineup of all star shoes that is considered, to be this is the all star lineup. I mean, in all honesty, they basically released two different versions of each shoe. So you had in the ones that were like considered the metallic versions, like I thought it was like if the Jazz drop on sneakers, the Jazz and the KDs, I was like, if those drop on sneakers, I need those. Now they
Hmm.
released them on the regular Nike site, but they were muted like versions of the shoe,
Right.
and I was really disappointed in that. And I think that, those KDs, I actually see that those KDs are like $100 now, which for a green shoe, I'm not like, I don't know. Green is like one of those colors that I do like. So, I mean, for $100, if they drop to like 80, I'm definitely gonna grab them. But it's just I was disappointed in that overall.
Actually, so out of all of the, I guess the warning tag shoes or whatever, I really like the KDs. I didn't end up getting them. I figured they would still be around.
Hmm.
Um, because I mean, if we're being honest, like when we're looking at the return of the KDs, like they're definitely not marketing how they used to.
Right.
Um, and it's like I just felt within that particular silhouette that was one of the better colorways.
You know, it's funny because KDs are now retroing. We're at that point to where that his line has been out long enough to where that he can retro. And in all honesty, seeing that the PBJs are not sold out, and hey, I still haven't got them. Now, just seeing that these shoes have not sold out, it's kind of, you can still get the All Star KDs. I
Hmm.
mean, it's crazy to me that some of these shoes like are sitting. I don't. Again, I can't call it. I've talked to multiple people about this, and it's one of the reasons why I don't care what the shoe is that I hit on. And again, I know I'm shouting out E Money a lot, but he is one of those people who has me under the belief that celebrate your W's. I
Yeah,
mean,
definitely.
because no matter what I hit on sneakers, I'm gonna post that because it's so hard to hit on sneakers. The only thing is that when I hit on sneakers like super easy, I automatically know I'm like I could have waited.
Yep. Oh yeah, for
Ju- uh,
sure. For sure.
Just this past weekend with the 11s,
Hmm.
those didn't do shit.
No, I didn't even I ended up not going for them just because I was like, okay, they'll be readily available. Like they're definitely gonna sit. It's not a holiday shoe. It's not a super sought after shoe. And it's just like I don't feel like it's a great time to be a sneakerhead
Oh my
because
god, yes.
people are not appreciating sneakers the way they used to because they're just following the hype. They're
Mhm.
strictly following the hype. So it's like, yeah, cool, let them sit. I want them to sit. I want them to sit, let them go on sale. Let me use some of these FLX points and stuff like that. Let me go to these various shoe stores and use all these points I've been racking up on top of whatever discounts are available. But it's a weird time. Like it's definitely a weird time to be a sneakerhead because it's like, I feel like at some point in time, like we missed the chase, right? Like it's
Yeah,
it's the excitement
definitely.
that comes with acquiring the shoe, but it's nice to be able to just walk into a store or just hop on sneakers, at 9 o'clock on Saturday. Be like, all right, this is gonna be an easy cop. But then when it comes to like, these hype shoes, we don't ever have a chance. We don't ever have a chance. Like between people backdooring them, buy that stuff,
Uh,
it's like,
you know, I understand that no matter what part of the culture you can't really stand or that you dislike the most, it all serves a purpose in a sense. It's like the circle of life. I mean,
oh yeah.
resellers serve a purpose. They are the ones who kind of build a hype up around the shoe.
Hmm.
But seeing them kind of struggle in these times, I'm gonna be honest, like it really makes my day.
Oh yeah, it's satisfying. It's
Uh,
super satisfying. It's like, oh yeah, go out there and buy all them shoes that you cannot move. Like,
right.
because it's
Yes.
like, it's not as predictable as it once was. And like to your point, like you can't call it. Like, unless it's I mean, like, okay, the black metallic fives.
Hmm.
People went crazy for them, right? And it's like people who weren't even interested in the shoe went out and bought the shoe just based off of the resale value. So it's like, okay, if I can get a couple pair, oh, I can move these. The same with the wolf grays. Like, I was excited when I saw the Wood Rays on the calendar. I don't know why people got so excited about that. Like, I
I,
like the shoe.
it's a combination of things. It was the tax season Jordan. It's always the
Mm-hmm.
tax season Jordan. And then it was just I don't know if fives have kind of replaced fours as the hype shoe. Ellie was talking about that the other day. She posted that because the white fives are coming out, she posted that she was sick of seeing fives. And when I
Mm-hmm.
thought about it, I was like, we really have gotten a lot of fives. They really have
Mm-hmm.
pushed those. We've gotten the metallics, we got the grapes, we got the fire reds, then we got the wolf grays, and now we're getting um, the basically the white metallic. So I mean, I don't know. Do you feel like that? What do you feel like is going to be the silhouette of the year?
I feel like the silhouette of the year will probably be fours. Like, if we're looking at how many fours are coming out just this year with like the lightning packs and stuff like that, or it's like there's so many different variations of it.
Mm,
Um, that it's just like it's gonna have to be the silhouette of the year again.
yeah, I mean, with the Nigels, and then you got the Toros coming out. I mean, but I mean the UNC fives. I mean, man, I gotta have them. I gotta
I
have them.
definitely want those. I definitely want those. I feel like I don't know.
That was the first Jordan I ever bought with my own money.
I can't even remember the first Jordan I bought with my own money. I had to rack my brain for that. But I feel like, in a sense, like fives kind of are replacing fours. But at the same time, it's like I want to see something different. Last year
Hmm.
we got the Awake fives. I really didn't care for either one of those colorways, and I saw that they're coming out with the collabs on the sixes and stuff. But it's like I want to see more sixes. I want to see more sevens. I want to see
Definitely
more
want to see
things
more
past
sevens.
14. We need sevens. Like, I need to replace my hairs. I need to replace my Bordeaux. I have so many pairs of sevens that I need to replace. Like, I was looking at my hairs the other day, and it's like, for as much as I've worn those shoes, granted, they came out, what, 2015,
Hmm.
2016, something like that. It's like the the uh the material is starting to crack.
Yeah,
And especially on like lighter pairs, it's hard for whatever reason to keep those pairs in fantastic shape. But I
yeah.
was just like, yeah, we got to get more than just like fours. Like, granted, we got those what is it, the ice carmines?
I
Those
I
the
I like those, and
those are nice.
I mean, it kind of has me in a conundrum this week because they drop on Thursday, which is tomorrow, depending on when this episode drops. Um, it's gonna be hard for me because I really want those. The video I did on those blew up. It's my most watched video, my most shared video, and the Kobe's come out. I am a
Hmm.
huge Kobe connoisseur when it comes to his shoes, and when Vanessa signed back with Nike and had the Kobe brand still, gave him permission to, keep the Kobe brand within Nike, the Nike family. It just, I was like, I'm not gonna take this for granted. Every fucking Kobe that comes out, I gotta have. And these eights that are coming out are super dope. And I don't know. I'm gonna just go with the Kobe's this week because you already know there is no chance in hell of me hitting on both on sneakers.
Nope, not at all. And if you do,
Yeah,
I suggest you go ahead and just buy that lottery ticket.
yeah, might as well.
Just
If
buy.
I ever hit on two shoes on sneakers, I'm just gonna buy a lottery ticket because that is impossible. And if you do hit twice, and I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there who might hear this and like, well, if I hit twice, Go get a lottery ticket,
Yeah,
bud.
good for you. Yeah,
Go get a lottery ticket, bud. Just kind of speaking to that video of the ice core mines, I would, and this kind of touches on something that I want to talk to you about, is that that video in particular was my most shared video and my most watched video. And I went back and looked at my content. A lot of women exclusive Jordans are the ones that I get the most responses on. And it just makes me think, do you think that women are overlooked in sneaker culture?
definitely. Especially with it being so male dominated, it's like we're not centered. Like our voices are there, but they're not amplified in the same way. And I think a lot of it has to do with people thinking it's so much easier for us to get shoes.
Hmm.
You don't have to work as hard because you can fit into a grade school size, or it's easier to get a women's shoe. And I look at myself, I wear a size 6. So I'm in that sweet spot where it's like I'm competing with kids, I'm competing with men, I'm competing with women to get shoes. But I think past that, it's marketing.
Hmm.
Women are not marketed in the same way that men are, from sports to, just lifestyles type stuff. It's like we're not marketed the same way, but we are amplifying our voices. And I think we also need the help of men to kind of do that.
Hmm.
Especially like I would say some of my biggest supporters, like when I look at like my social media following, most of my followers are men, right? But
Hmm.
the way they go up for me is crazy. Like I've had so many people that are like, you have some of the dopest shoes in your collection, from
Right.
GRs to hype to all this stuff. And we love how you put on for the culture. And so one of the
Hmm.
things that I decided I wanted to do in March, with it being Women's History Month, was She Moves the Culture, which was like a little series that I did that highlighted, in my opinion, women that are doing something with their platform and they're just using sneakers as a catalyst.
Right.
And I think we need more of that, because there are definitely a lot of dope women out there doing a lot of really dope things, from styling to community work to just all types of stuff. And I think we deserve a seat at the table just as much as the men, because it's like I feel like there are a lot of female sneakerheads out there who have some of the most vast collections with a lot of range. And it's not like, I'm a Nike girl, I'm a Jordan girl, but like when you go look at my sneaker wall, you're gonna see everything. There's Diodora, there's
Hmm.
Saucony, there's Asics, there's all this stuff. And it's like I wish women were not treated as such a monolith. And it's like, oh, women are more into makeup. Women are more into, these niche parts of fashion and stuff like that. And it's like, nah, we can put it on too. Like we're interested in what's on our feet outside of heels. We have versatility. I'll go to the office one day in heels and I might switch into a pair of sneakers later in the day.
Hmm.
And I just think like we just need we need to be able to broaden our platform, in our voices, and amplify who we are and what we stand for. But I definitely do think we're overlooked in a lot of ways.
I definitely would agree with that. And when you say in terms of needing the support, I do think that it is definitely needed, just like with, the WNBA. Need support from everybody. So I definitely try to always uplift, my sneakerhead sisters, and always try to definitely like support Asia, support Sabrina whenever her shoes come out. I really like Sabrina's shoes, and I think that
Yep.
her shoe is probably one of the most popular shoes in college and in the NBA. I see a lot of people wearing her shoes. Um, so I do think that probably some of the dopest people that I follow are women, and they have some of the best takes on shoes. Like you said, your content is super dope. Um, and again, it's relatable. I hold your opinion in a very high esteem. So it's one of those things to where is that, I definitely try to support. It's really no gender in it for me, because if you're a sneakerhead, you're a sneakerhead. I don't
Right.
care like how easy it is for you to get your size. And I think that's a bullshit comment or a bullshit cop out, because your size is one that resells the most in terms of like
I'm
the
telling you.
price. It's
Oh
the
yeah.
resale value on that is super high. So it's that's a weird, super weird comment
Yeah.
to
I get that
make.
all the time. All the
Yeah,
time. They're just like, "Oh, you're lucky you have small feet." Like people always come at me with that baby feet comment, and I'm like, "Yeah, but these baby feet, these shoes are hard to get." I'm like, I'm sitting here complaining, and I try not to buy resale like a crazy amount because I'm not trying to
yeah,
spend all this money. But
right.
sometimes, I'm gonna bite the bullet. But when I'm
Hmm.
scrolling and I'm looking at the differences in price, I'm like, man, the variance between my size and a size between like a 10 and an 11, it's not much. Like for a
Right,
lot of shoes, it's right there on. It's damn near the same price. And so
right.
I kind of despise when people say that kind of stuff because I'm like, bro, if you only knew how hard it is to actually cop some of these shoes, like for me, trying to get the gammas last year, I got lucky and copped two pairs. So I got a story about that whole thing because I didn't get the first pair that came out. I was dating this guy in college, and he's like, I got you on these shoes, and he bought me the worst reps I've ever seen in my life.
Oh hell no!
The
You
worst
broke it.
reps
You
I've
broke
ever.
up with him, right?
I was like, bro, you can have it back. You can have it
Yeah,
back. Cause
that's
what is this? So
hell
I had
no.
to I had to get two pair, one for my pain and one for my suffering.
Oh
But
my
even trying
god.
to do that, like I knew I was gonna hit on Foot Locker. I never miss on Foot Locker. I put in some little extra points and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
when I got on sneakers, I wasn't sure because my thing was pending. I kid you not, for like 12 to 13 minutes. And I know a lot of people had a lot of issues with the app because it kept crashing. So I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to secure two. And I got lucky with that. But I'm just like, the way they flew off the shelves, like I knew they were going to be gone quick. But I'm
Yeah,
like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's hard to get in there and get certain shoes. And even, shoes like Travis Scott's, those are hard. Those are like,
yeah,
super hard for me. I have some, the brick by bricks, those were hard to get because I'm like, people want this size. And a lot of resellers want that stock just because of the inherent value.
yeah. Definitely, I agree with that. It's a weird comment, and again, I'm looking at the resale value now on just certain shoes and GS sizes, and it is very similar to some men's pair. So again, I don't agree with that, but uh, people are silly, but we're not gonna worry about that. It is what it is.
Right, right.
One thing that I do want to do is a quick kind of like a quick rapid fire with you, and I want to ask you a couple questions that I typically try to. This is a conversation that's been going on not only just on the podcast but amongst just other me and other sneakerheads as well. Are Jordan ones dead?
No, Jordan ones are not dead. Not even.
You
Not
think?
even. It's a utility shoe. I feel like people are hyping up other shoes, but you can't go wrong with a pair of Jordan ones. You can throw it on with formal attire, informal, go to the post office, like they're not dead.
I mean, I would agree. I mean, I think the hype behind them is maybe dead, but the Jordan One, there are a couple of Jordan Ones that have came out that if they would have came out 2, 3 years ago, they would have sold out. It would have been a frenzy for them. If they would have came out during the pandemic, those I think it was a sale colorway and the elephant print ones that came out
Hmm.
like right. It was Christmas. It was like right before Christmas. Those are the
Clean.
perfect summer shoe. I
Yep.
I was able to get those, and it was something that I saw it coming out of. I didn't think anything of it, but then when I saw like the official picture, I was like, wait, hold up, I need these.
Yep. Yep.
And when
I
I
was the
saw
same
them
way.
yeah, when I saw them in person, I was like, yeah, this is a cop. It's something about like, and then the tongue is just like that old kind of worn yellow. It has that nice hint of red on the tongue, and it just like every little accent on the shoe just hits perfect.
Yep.
So I think that yeah, it's one of those things to where is that I think for true sneakerheads, you cannot go wrong with a pair of ones.
Nope. Never. Never.
What about are you Nike versus New Balance?
Nike for legacy. I think New Balance for consistency and comfort. I know it's a lot of New Balances coming out, but a pair of 574s, you can't ever go wrong with them.
Yeah, I mean, New Balance is something that over the past 2 years I've gotten into. I've kind of, I think I maybe had like 15 pair of New Balances, and those are shoes that I don't really wait to wear, so I throw those on immediately. Um, for me, I just can't. Nothing's ever going to be over the swoosh.
Oh no, for sure, for sure. Like
It's
I love the legacy of Nike. I love the story behind Nike. I'm a swoosh checks, however you want to call it, girl for life. Like I'm always choosing that swoosh over everything. But I
you.
definitely can appreciate, these other
Yeah, of
brands and what
course,
they're
yeah.
doing. Yeah.
You can bury me like I bury me in a Nike store. Like that's how I love the pretty much Nike is my brand. I don't try to play favorites, but it's just I love all sneakers. I can find the beauty in any sneaker. I can find the beauty in those $20 sneakers that all the kids are wearing. Like I think
hmm
that is it's dope. Like if you like a shoe, wear what you like, buy what
hmm
you like. No matter what nobody else says about it. One, what's one regret pickup that you made?
The shatter pack.
Really?
Yes, I don't like them. I don't like them, and I've worn mine once, and I think I might trade them for something. Shit, I might just give them away. That's how much I don't like that
What?
shoe. I don't like it. The materials. I wasn't expecting the 2025 pair to just like eclipse or even be close to the 2015 pair, but I thought it was gonna at least be comparable. I figured the materials might be just a little less premium, but the shoe, for one, the sizing is off. And that's not the first pair of ones that I picked up last year where the sizing was off. Like the Zions were off for me too, but the Shatter backboards, I was so underwhelmed. I felt like it just feels like a plastic shoe. Like it just doesn't do it for me. Like I really wanted to like them so bad, and I was super super hyped to see that they were bringing them back out. And I was just like, I could have kept this.
Yeah, I
I could have
just
kept
think
it.
I don't know. Maybe it's that give it 2 to 3 years.
Mm-mm.
They're gonna be.
Nope.
I think that you're gonna regret. Like, damn, I should still have them. I'm telling
I
you.
don't want them. If we wore the same size, I would give them to you. Like we don't even have to trade. I would just give them to you. Here you go. Like keep them, love
I'm
them.
telling you, give it 2 to 3 years, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna wait till like 2028, 2029, and bust them out and see what people think, and see if the opinions have changed on them.
They could have given us the reverse shatter backboards. I would have taken the shatter backboard 2.0 or 3.0, whichever one it is. The patent pair. I would have got another pair of those. I like
I
that pair so much more. Like my shatter backboards, like the OG shatter backboards, they're not even with the rest of my sneakers. That's how much I don't like them.
oh damn, like man,
Like I had to segregate them because I'm like, you don't deserve to be next to my other shoes. They're sitting on top of a display case in the box because I was like, I'm not even gonna make room for these.
it's that deep.
It's that deep. It's that deep. I'm like, I'm just really the box was the best part of the shoe.
My box, I remember I got mine from Nike, and I remember I got my box and it was damaged, and I took it to the Nike store. I was like, y'all gotta y'all gotta
I
send me
know.
another pair, like, cause
Yes.
again, we both mentioned the box is a part of the box has to be pristine, just as pristine as the. And I know people say you're not gonna wear the box. Look,
I don't care. Like you seen The Godfather, right?
hmm
Okay, you know the part where Clemenza is like, take the gun, leave the cannoli. Or leave the gun, take the cannoli. Leave the gun,
uh,
take the cannoli. Uh, the cannoli would be the box. The shoes
right,
would be the gun. Like the shoe is just that trash for me.
damn.
I did not like it. I want my money back. I want my money back.
Oh man, like I don't. Again, I love pretty much all sneakers, and the only thing, like I said, the only time I regret a shoe is when I see I bought it and I could have got it on discount or on sale. That's the only time I regret it.
You know what? I hope I'm right or you're right and I'm wrong. Jeez.
I'm telling you, give it 2 to 3 years and watch. It's gonna be up.
It would
It
still give you more.
always works like that. I'm gonna tell
It would
you one
still give you
shoe that I
more.
bought that nobody was checking for. I bought the Nick threes. Now there was some hype behind them, but the Nick
Appreciate that.
threes nobody was checking for. And then when they came out, it was like 2017, 2018. I bought them, let them sit. The pandemic hits. Those shoes were four. I sold them for 420, like 420, 430. And that I'm talking about. That's after like all the fees and stuff that StockX charge. So maybe once they get scarce, you have people that start looking for them, start searching for them. For you, it takes one trend and they're up.
That's how
Like,
I feel about the UNC threes. Like I don't have them and I need them and I cannot find them and it's driving me insane. It's
mm,
absolutely driving me insane. I thought about going a half size up. Up was like crazy. It was like
you know,
50.
if I see them, I definitely will let you know because
Oh,
there are a
please
couple of
do.
resale shops that I frequent, so I will let you know. Yeah, I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna keep that on the back burner and make sure that
Thank
if I
you.
see them, I'll let you know.
Appreciate that.
Now, just in terms of just the conversation that we had a great conversation, and to just kind of put a bow on this, what do you think the future of sneaker culture is?
I think the future of sneaker culture is going to be heavy into like running style sneakers,
Hmm.
pairing that with different fits because I feel like people are looking for sleeker styles. And with the collabs that we're seeing coming out, Vandy the Pink, Unheard of, J Tip, stuff like that, like they're moving in more of that direction. We're not seeing these super hype collabs, like, with the Nigel Sylvester,
Hmm.
with Awake and stuff like, I feel like Nigel was kind of like a one off in a sense.
Hmm.
And still to be able to retain that value and still seeing it move forward. But like when you look at the Vandy, the pink collab with Asics, those shoes are so expensive.
I
Those shoes are
think
so expensive.
a lot of ASICS collabs go under the radar.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah, for
still,
sure.
I still want that Shine Witherspoon ASIC. I love a
Yep.
mismatched pair of shoes. I
I
love
think
it.
pairs like that are definitely underrated. But I definitely feel that's where sneaker culture is moving. We're gonna see a lot of, putting more fits together and not like these, I don't want to call people old, but like
Watch it. What?
matching
Yeah, yeah.
like
Basically,
the
somebody that's dressed like a mannequin in a store.
no, seriously, yes, dressed like a mannequin. That's exactly, and it's like that used to be it back in the day, but we got to step into the new century. And it's just like, like when you look at on social media, be it TikTok, be it IG, Facebook, whatever it is, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Pinterest, you see more things that are not just geared towards the shoes, but geared towards like a total fit and the merchandising and the, pairings of different textile fabrics and stuff like a lot of those types of silhouettes, those types of sneakers fit within that aesthetic. And you look at stuff like Brooks, like
Hmm.
I remember, having Brooks like in high school and stuff, running in them. And it's like people aren't even using them as running shoes anymore. It's a fashion statement.
Right.
So it's like I really feel like that's where the culture is headed. And I think a lot of it is still gonna be based off of hype because these brands outside of Nike, like yes, they might be younger brands. You're always gonna have brands like Adidas and New Balance that longevity because they're rooted in something. There's a following, but the hype is gonna die down eventually when you look at like dad shoes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I
And
can
everything
agree.
is recycled, so everything's gonna be
Oh yeah.
recycled.
Always. Always. Well, one thing that I do want you to do is promote yourself. Tell everybody where they can follow you.
All right, promote myself. Y'all can follow me on TikTok at Shanice. That's ShaAnyse. And if you come check out my page, I do a lot of I wouldn't call them hot takes, but I like to ask a lot of thoughtful questions. I definitely get to
Hmm.
see my collection. Um, really been trying to interact more with my followers and kind of create like that sticky kind of community where it's not like, yeah, I have some posts that have taken off, but I want people to come for the shoes, stay for the vibes.
Oh yeah,
Everything on my page is intentionally curated, from the music I pick out to the things that I talk about to just how I present myself. It's a genuine vibe. So definitely uh, come join the family.
yeah, definitely follow her, a good follower. So, let me rewind that. Not a good follower. That sounds so bad. She's somebody who you definitely want to follow because the content is definitely interesting and is definitely well worth it. So she needs you good people. I'm happy,
You
like
good people too.
I told you, I'm happy that we met. We've had conversations before, like in pre-production and post-production, that have been really good. So again, being a sneakerhead is like finding a second family. So
Right.
it's a dope feeling. So we're definitely gonna have to do a part two. This was just off the clock, the Kicking It podcast. Y'all take it easy.